So it's been an interesting day today. I finally was able to get to sleep at a reasonable time last night. I went to bed about 11 o'clock. I think it was added up over a few days of not getting to sleep till almost like 4 in the morning. Finally caught up to me, but it was to a good thing. I was able to get up early. I packed up all my gear. I thought, let's go out. I was a little bit restless about not being out and doing things for a week and a half. So I packed everything up. I went outside and oh my gosh, I was hit with like the brightest, most ridiculous weather, sky, everything. It was super, super bright outside, like so bad you needed sunglasses on, you needed your hat on. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, and it was, let me put it this way, it's the worst type of environment or conditions to try and go out and film anything. I headed up into the trees because I like to go up there and go for a little drive. I'll show you a little bit of the footage that I got. I had to do a lot of work just to make it where it's actually viewable because it was like totally blown out. But I like driving through these forest roads. It's like people say they like to go for a drive to relax or calm down. Well, this is the type of drive that I like to go for. I just cruise up on the fire roads up at about 7,000 feet or so. It was about 10 degrees cooler up there. It was 104 at my house. So it was 10 to 15 degrees cooler. And it was nice. I cruised around, but I didn't really stop to film anything because, as you can see, it was just blown out. The world was overexposed. But the good news is, when I got home, I had a package sitting on my front door that I've been waiting for, and I thought what I'd do is I would do a little unboxing. So this is my zero tolerance knife here. You can see it's got the little, what would you call that? Camo? Shark scale? Something like that. I'll show you the box here. It's a big boy. Oh, so here's the box. All right. It's just a box. And what's cool about it, actually, I closed my knife just so I could do that again. All right. I'm going to get rid of this. It's probably like everything else, a box with, can you see my face? A box within a box, right? A box within a box. If you ever order anything from Amazon or, some of those places like that, you get the box within the box. All right, I'm going to take this down because it's pretty big. So here we go. I've got a little overhead camera up here. I don't know if it's going to work at all. It looks like it's about ready to fall on my head. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen. It's a big, gigantic black box that says Valve Index on it. So this is pretty legit. And it's so big that I can't get it in frame on any of my cameras here. But this is the Valve Index. This is the latest and greatest. Well, I say greatest. I've looked at reviews and stuff. It's the latest and most expensive VR kit. It's a kit because it's not just the headset. It's also the motion controllers. What are they called? Controllers. I think they used to be called like Knuckles or something. And it's also some base stations. Because this setup is for PC, where my other VR setup was for the console, the PlayStation 4. So this has two little base stations. They look like little speakers. And apparently you're supposed to put them in opposite corners, like one in front and one behind you, and they spray these lasers into your room, and hopefully they're good, because that really, the PlayStation 1 for me worked really good, and it's using a camera, like the PlayStation camera, to pick up the colors on the headset as well as the colors on the controllers. It's pretty ridiculous that they were able to get the quality out of that motion control capture with just colors in a camera. Really, really good. But now we're talking about lasers, right? So I'm going to open this guy up. Oh, geez, the thing is ginormous. It's okay. We'll try and put it up there. I don't have a wide lens for my camera. because in 4K it's got a crop and they don't have a lot of lenses out. So without putting this thing on the ceiling, this is what it looks like. This is going to look terrible if my overhead camera doesn't come out. So this is what it looks like. It is 2 controllers, the 2 base stations, the headset, the cord, and then maybe some instructions. It's wow, and it's got some really nice cyan or teal colored little pulls here to pull this up. And oh my gosh, underneath it's got a bunch more stuff. Okay, let's set this aside for a second. It's got a pillow. It's got, looks like some mounts, wall mounts for those base stations, some cords, all kinds of different things. It looks like, I don't know what all that is, but it's extremely nice packaging. Well, I was reviewing the video and it was so dark and I really wasn't showing anything in there, so I had to move offices. So I'm in my gaming office where there's a window, light, more light. I have a little bit more room. I'm sitting down because I want to show you guys a little bit more than what I was showing you with that overhead. So here's the headset in hand, and if you can see right here, this is a speaker. So they're not earbuds and they're not on your ears. They sit just off your ears, which, if you know anything about these types of things and how heat can generate, right? Your head generates a lot of heat. So with those off there, that's going to give you a little bit more breathing room. But having that off your ear is pretty cool. And I heard that there is a pretty good microphone. It looks like there might be 2 little dots under here. Pretty good microphone. So I'll be interested to see if I can use the microphone on the headset without it picking up this coming into the mic, instead of having to use my little lavalier, which I don't like using at all. So what else do we got here? It's got like, really, it's almost like, you know what jersey sheets are? They're sheets made out of soft t-shirt material. It feels like that. It feels like jersey sheets. Really soft. This front part comes off. Boop. It's magnetic. It's magnetically, oh, this is a good look. This could be a new superhero right here. I am VR guy. Or not. So it just magnetically, so I can do it one-handed. Yeah, magnetically goes back on. Let's try this thing on. All right. So it's got a ratcheting system in the back. There we go. I might go out of focus because it doesn't know where my face is, but I've got a strap on top. It's got a kind of a nice double wide backing there. As well as on this side, if you push this in, it adjusts. I'm not really sure what it's called. Right here. It's like the eye relief. Okay, eye relief is in relation to using a scope on a rifle, but what it does is it can move the lenses all the way up to your eye and giving you a greater field of view. If you wear glasses, obviously you're going to have to keep that farther away, but that's nice. Having this, I don't know what they call it, but I'm going to call it eye relief. So it's you can adjust the lenses farther or closer to your actual eye. Then underneath is a slider which slides the lenses. Look at that. Boop, boop, boop. It slides them closer or farther apart. Now this, I believe, was one of the hot topics when it came to other VR headsets. I think the Rift. So not everybody's eyes are the same width apart, right? And if they're not, what happens is it could, I don't know if they call it IDF or there's 3, they're typical. There's always some acronym for it. But in layman's terms, because I'm a layman, not everybody's eyes are the same width apart. Now, they're not really that far apart. There's not like, hey, most people are like this, but yours are here or yours are here. You can poke them in the eye with both eyes with one thumb. It's not like that. But when you're talking about this stuff and kind of getting cross-eyed or your field of views are different, let's just say the more adjustments to personalize the system for you, the better. And this one, yes, is very expensive. They call this the whatever, the Ferrari of, just because it's very expensive. But if it didn't have that adjustment, then I would say those are the little details that you look for in higher dollar pieces of equipment. But it has it. It has the eye relief adjustment here. It adjusts the whole system forward and back closer to your eyes, therefore giving you a better field of view. And it also adjusts the distance between your eyeballs, okay? A slider on the bottom and an adjustment on the side. That's key to custom fitting this to yourself, as well as the ratchet system on your head and the strap on the top. Now, underneath, I said there was a pillow. It's not really a pillow, all right? I can't set that on my keyboard. It's going to get dog hair on it now because Buck likes to lay right there. This thing here, if you can see, this goes in between that back part. And what it does is either you can use it for more comfort because this thing is one of those, it's like that really, it's those really soft, smooth foam, right? Or if you have a smaller head, you put this in there, it's obviously going to take up a lot more room. Again, really keen on something that allows for a lot of personalization, because with a VR headset, if you're going to play for any amount of time, you're going to want that thing to be extremely comfortable, right? Therefore, it means you've got to be able to adjust it to fit your head. I got a big fat head, right? I need this thing to fit my head. Now, some of these boxes I was showing you earlier, these are the little plugs. There looks like the little power outlets for the base stations. Yep, it's a little like power supply. So you got a power supply for each base station. The other boxes were the cords. These are the cords wrapped up nice, which is the power. This end here is one of those regular style DC power adapters, and this plugs into the power supply. So the power supply, these are, again, if you ever dealt with lights where they have a power cord and they do the short part that connects to the light and then the long part that plugs into the wall, it means you got the power brick hanging in the air. Well, this one looks like it does just the opposite, which is what you want. You want the long cord to go from the unit that's going to hang on the wall all the way down so the power supply section, the brick section, sits down on the floor. So that's what we look like we have here. Again, intuitive design, and that's what we want. Every time we look at something here, I'm looking for intuitive design. Have some more cords here. This looks like this is a USB-C to USB cord. Okay, so again, here is the size of the base. I guess they're called base stations. Again, you guys got to bear with me. I'm a noob when it comes to this stuff with the PC. I've played VR only on console. I'm going to call these base stations. These are the things that pick up the motion, right? So one is going to go, so if I'm looking at I'm off in a square room, one's going to go up here and one's going to go up here. Opposing corners, catty corners, right? And then these shoot down lasers, as we said, to pick up not only your headset movement as well as these things, these controllers. So, right. On this side, I'm going to show you guys. So here, they've got a little button here. You push this button, it relieves this cord. So this is shock cord. If you don't know what shock cord is, it's like a cord but rubber band type. So put this in here, right? Push the button. I mean, I guess you could pull past the button, but you could fray your shock cord. So push the button in, pull it, let the button go, and then you got this on here. Then it will sense. My hands are big. So, all right, that's a good time to check this out. So you push this part in and you can adjust it. You push this in and it just looks like 4 different positions. Now, which position would garner for a bigger hand? All the way up like this, I guess. Because if it was down here, oh yeah. Okay, so you push it in, slide it all the way up closer to the top part to accommodate a big paw like mine. Trying to see, first time touching these, like, I have a bad thumb. That's why I have, I've had surgery on this thumb. So just getting a feel for this. My hands are almost too big. I want to have to hit it with the bottom of my thumb, not the tip necessarily. So this has got a click. The thumbstick has got a click, but I saw some videos about this thumbstick losing its click and people, and it maybe not working for them. When you push it, like when you push down and forward like you'd be running. So as it gets out to the edges, the click gets much softer. Here. Yeah, it's a lot softer, but I think these are going to work for my big hands. Hopefully. I mean, I might have to hold them a little bit differently, but these are both of them in my hand. Yeah, so my thumbs reach are too long. You know, look at my hand. Look at my face. I got a giant fat head. Look at the size of that hand. I have very large hands, and these are for the common person, I guess. So it makes me want to use the tip like this. I have to really pull back. Otherwise, I could heel toe this one. The AB button, I could heel toe. And then this, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. All right. So that's cool. They seem pretty comfortable. I hope that I don't slam my hand on the desk with those things, but I wanted to give you a little bit closer view. I'm really curious to see how these, can you see that? How these headsets work. They're supposed to be extremely good audio quality. Now, you can take these off and use earbuds, but I hate earbuds. I hate them. I always have. Again, everyone's not the same. I don't have ears that they're comfortable in, all right? I don't like earbuds. I don't like shoving things in my ears. I do like, headsets, and I like headsets that are open back where they breathe, and this is the best of all worlds. They're going to sit off my ear an inch or so, and if I don't crank them up, hopefully the audio or the microphones picked up, I think in the bottom here, will work out pretty good. Now this front part apparently is only held on with magnets, like that. And in there, you see that there is a USB port in the side, and this was designed by Steam to allow people to make mods or modification, some device that could plug in there to give you, who knows? I don't know what they've done so far with VR or what people are thinking about doing, but it's a modification slot. They said, look, we're gonna put this area up in front with a USB there, and if people want to make aftermarket modded modules, again, I don't know what for, camera, I don't know what it would be, but it's there. And I was talking about future-proofing earlier in the video. Things like that are helpful. You got to remember, Steam, these are the guys who make games that people mod from here to the moon, right? So I think that's another one of those little intangibles that you look for to say, why is this double the money of the next one? Well, we already talked about super good audio, really good microphones, off ear, the adjustable distance between your eyes, the adjustments here, the comfort of the headset. Some of the other earlier generation headsets, they came with, you get the unit, and then you could buy a upgrade to kind of the ratcheting system. Well, this is there from the beginning. And then this mod slot and whatever else I'm going to come across as I set this thing up. Those are the little things, the little intangibles that you look for to justify the much, much higher price. There's a lot of things like this. There is a lot of things going on in tech. You can take a camera, for example. This one does this one does 6K, and it's $2,000. And this one does only 4K cropped, my camera, and it's $2,000. Yeah, but this camera here has autofocus when you're like me and you only have yourself to shoot for. I'm not vlogging, I'm in front of the camera and I got to look at the screen and make sure that this eye, well, now this eye is in focus. There's an eye autofocus around this eye, and there's a face box around my face. That other camera that's like great, but it doesn't have that. So you have to adjust things yourself. What I'm getting at is there's small little details that may be an extreme benefit to you as an individual, your situation, that makes up the difference. And something like that makes up the difference for me. I need to use this camera because of its autofocusing capabilities. I'm not behind the camera focusing. Maybe that other camera has better resolution, but it doesn't autofocus. So I can't use it because I can't set. I'd have to sit perfectly still, never come closer or go farther away. Right now I'm looking at the screen. There's a small box around this eye. There's a box around my head, meaning it knows where my fat head is and it's doing autofocus. It's switching eyes. As I cover the eye, it's switching the box back and forth. And that's really cool. Those are the things that I'm looking for in this. The personal adjustments that I can do to my fat head, the audio, the microphone quality, the resolution quality, the frequency, 80, 90, 120, and 144 hertz. If you have the computer that can push it, you're going to see the difference. So that's going to wrap it up for, man, this is the worst unboxing video ever. But I've never done one, and I'm excited about this, and I do have a lack of knowledge because this is my first VR gaming thing. So maybe if you're someone like me and you're not up on all the high-tech technical stuff, maybe the way I explain some things might make a little bit more sense. I hope it did, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.